In a split second nearly a decade ago, a Filipino television crew made a potentially deadly decision: to secretly keep a camera rolling to record a kidnapping in progress, their own.
There were many times that I thought, this is really bad.
Marched through the jungles of the southern Philippines by Abu Sayyaf, the crew had been tricked into thinking they were about to get an interview with the head of the bloodthirsty group. Instead, they became the group's prey. Reporter Cestrilon sensed there was no way out.
I asked to be given that grace, to be able to die, to be able to accept my death, not to fight it.
What she knew was these jungle floors crawl with threats, none more haunting than the extremists for whom kidnapping is a proven moneymaker. Her boss knew it too. In Manila, Maria Ressa's instincts told her to pay the ransom or her crew would die.
A year before CES, there was a company that refused to pay ransom, and all 7 of the hostages were beheaded.
All sensed then that a rescue would be a lost dream. It rarely happens. Not that soldiers don't want to, it's just not that easy. Anytime the Philippine military goes after Abu Sayyaf, there are hideous casualties. There is serious pressure to stop Abu Sayyaf, but practicalities are punishing.
Why can't you get too low here?
Our aircrafts are vulnerable to small arms fire.
With their Vietnam-era helicopters, the armed forces of the Philippines have much ground to cover in these volatile southern islands. Tropical, lush. Look, they say, at the most beautiful beaches you should never try to visit. As Canadians now know too well, tourists and foreigners are the perfect targets for Abu Sayyaf. Those marshlands below are the group's favorite hiding grounds. They know the terrain, and they have the small vessels to navigate this. The military does not.
It's not possible for us, but they know all the areas.
The Abu Sayyaf fighters in the islands below have been bombing and beheading for more than 20 years. And when they succeed in getting ransoms, they sometimes share with local populations. That buys silence, which makes hunting them so much harder.
Dahil sa pagkilalang ito ng ISIS sa Pilipinas,
but Abu Sayyaf's loyalties come and go. Al-Qaeda has fallen out of favor. It's now showing signs of aligning with ISIS. Will align with any group that suggests it can provide money and training and prestige. Cestrilon now covers Abu Sayyaf from a safe distance and realizes something she first sensed during her captivity still holds true, that her kidnappers really had no cause, nothing she could talk with them about. They were cruel, greedy young men with guns and nothing more. And nothing ideological was said here.
I said, you know, don't kidnap, don't ask for money. Tell me about your story. Tell me, I'll tell the people. I'll just air your story. They weren't interested in that. So I don't think there's any ideology or that binds them.
Abu Sayyaf's ranks aren't thought to be big, but their reach is. They recently kidnapped Malaysian and Indonesian soldiers, and those who appear to come for money are always at risk. At times, when the military has cracked down, the group has resorted to kidnapping locals, teachers, even fruit sellers. So average citizens are often afraid. They certainly are at the Basilan home of Dr. Nilo Berendino, we visited a few years ago. Abu Sayyaf had once kidnapped him, his wife, and 8 children. Every cent the family had went to pay the ransom. He was convinced his kidnappers would never face justice.
Because in Basilan, the kidnappers mostly are related to policemen and are related to the government official. This was my kidnapping days.
Berendino says he made a decision in the jungle. In order to protect his community, he'd have to find the Abu Sayyaf kidnappers and kill them himself.
Did you really mean that?
I did.
How many men kidnapped you and your family?
Actually, in my list were 24.
24 men?
Yes.
So did you decide that you wanted to get and maybe kill all of those 24 men?
Only 6 are living now.
Only 6 are still alive.
Yes.
And did you kill all the others?
Not all. This barangay captain.
This might be hard to believe if it weren't for his grim photo album of the dead Abu Sayyaf members.
But why aren't you in jail?
You know, they cannot put you to jail for no evidence.
And to make his point, he pulls out a silencer.
You made that.
Yes. This is out of the mortar base.
This is what the terror of Abu Sayyaf has done to his life. He lives in a home built as a bomb shelter. He lost his legs in a grenade attack Abu Sayyaf launched against him. They want him dead as much as he and other vigilantes want them dead. Right now, there's a fear in the Philippines again. The death of the Canadian hostage, the threats against the others, means a genuine worry of more violence to come in jungles already teeming with trouble. For CBC News, I'm Adrienne Arsenault.